It's a gazebo. It's bullshit. Hey guys, Nick here from Just Few Studios, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we're doing a movie review for It. Now, It is a movie based off of the book by Stephen King, and if you're afraid of clowns, you have Stephen King's It to thank for that. But let's go ahead and jump into the review. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the cinematography. Oh my god, it was beautiful. From the color grading to the way the camera moved, the shots, everything about it I loved. And one thing that actually really surprised me was the acting was very well done by primarily kid actors. You normally don't see a lot of really talented kid actors in Hollywood, really even nowadays or in the past. It's not just really a thing that happens because I know a lot of you out there watching this are kids, so you might not get this yet. But you guys don't have a lot of life experience yet, and life experience is really what you pull on when you're acting. So, because of this, most kid actors aren't the best, but these kid actors were fantastic. And part of that was also the writing. The writing was very well done for this. It was very clever and very realistic, I feel. The way that the kids talked and interacted with one another felt legitimate. Now, going into this, as I was walking into the theater, I was with someone who mentioned that this was more of a comedy than a horror. It's not really, and I get why he mentioned that, though. Modern day horror movies, and I know we just had the last movie review where we were deconstructing Hollywood, so I don't really want to do that a whole lot in this one either, but I kind of will for this part, because it's very important to why this movie I feel is so great. Modern day horror movies, Hollywood has just made into cheap jump scares to make you feel like you're scared for a brief moment. But it's literally, they don't need to worry about a script, they don't need to worry about anything, as long as they can put a quick image and a loud noise up, you think that you're scared when you're really not. This movie doesn't do that. Yes, there are jump scares, but the majority of the movie isn't jump scare based. The scares are legitimate things. Pennywise, also, isn't really the scare in this movie. The whole horror behind it comes from the real things, like being afraid of bullies, your fear of losing a loved one, even fear of an abusive parent. Pennywise is just the surface level scary. The real scares come from the legitimate things that kids really have to deal with sometimes. And I thought that was fantastic. It was very well done in that sense. And I want horror movies from now on to take a page from it and start trying that kind of a thing. Don't just have a loud noise and a creepy image jump on screen. Have something more to it. Think about your scares a little bit more than that. But to everyone's credit who is saying that it's not that scary, I kind of get that. It was definitely not as scary as it could have been. It did the right thing, and it really pushed having a good story before being totally scare-fest. Like, it had a good balance, but you could tell the focus was more so on telling a good story, which is where the focus really should be. And Pennywise, for those of you who don't know, you maybe didn't watch the Tim Curry miniseries or read the book, he's an interesting villain. He's not totally the classic horror, I'm gonna scare you and He is a clown, so there are some interesting scenes. You guys might have seen the memes or GIFs that have come from that. To where I get this is where the humor aspect comes in. I don't think this makes it classify as a comedy, but it does kind of lighten the mood. It makes you kind of think about Pennywise a little bit differently, because yes, he is, it is taking the form of a clown, so yes, he's going to be scary, but also his inner belief being a clown is to be funny. It's not to where the Tim Curry level was, but it's still sub-level there, and it's almost funny in a scary way. I'm sorry, it's really hard to explain that without diving into spoilers or pulling exact scenes as reference, but I hope you kind of get what I'm saying. If anything, my flaws come from the fact that sometimes was a little out of place. I think it was good to have in there, but sometimes they used it when I don't know if they should have. The other kind of con I have is the CGI. Some moments were great, like the Pennywise eye thing was awesome. But there are some moments where they had a green screen or something along that lines, or kind of like a dolly zoom, where it just didn't look perfect. They could have spent another couple days, maybe couple weeks refining that, I feel. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. It was kind of that mid-level special effects right there, where I was like, come on. you had the budget, you could have cleaned that up a little more. But those are my really only 2 cons. Hopefully you can tell that I did really enjoy this movie, and that's coming from me. I don't really watch horror movies aside from Halloween, which, by the way, happy day before Halloween. Depending on when you're watching this, maybe it'll be Halloween. Who knows. But anyway, that aside, I did really enjoy this movie. So what would I give it on my normal 1 to 10 rating scale? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 stars. I thought it was very well done. This was part 1, chapter 1 of it, and I'm very excited to see what they do in chapter 2 with the adults. Because I thought this movie, the story was very well done, the cinematography was very well done, and they did scary the way that scary should be done, more than just a surface level jump scare. Even though there were jump scares in there, we're just gonna bypass that and look at the overall scares. But then you got a pretty little lady who, you know, you guys aren't doing anything for Halloween, so you go, "Hey babe, wanna go see it?" I mean, I know it's been out for a long time, because Nick got to the review a little late. But you wanna go see it for Halloween? Babe? Babe? Hey babe? Would it be a great movie to see on Halloween, or should you just see Jigsaw? Well, as always, my date night rates aren't a set thing. It really depends on the person you go with. If you're, you know, the standard guy and you want to, you know, think it'll be a, "Oh, I'll protect my lady," or if you're like me and you're like, "Ah!" You know, it really depends. But overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 stars as a date night rate. I think it's a great movie to do on a date because not only is it the, "Oh, a cheap jump scare, protect me," the smarter scares, I think, are a great conversational piece. And the story overall, you could talk about that for hours at a dinner or after seeing the movie. I think it would be great for that. Because it's just overall a really good movie. And one other thing I kind of want to talk about with it is something it does really well. I mean, you guys know me. I'm very much so. I don't really see horror movies. Halloween is the one day a year where I just marathon horror movies. And any other day of the year, I typically avoid them. But it did something really smart. At the beginning of the movie, I was scared of Pennywise. I was like, "Oh my god, that's a creepy clown. I'm not normally scared of clowns, but he just did something that would be a spoiler if I told you I was about to open my mouth and say it, but that's a spoiler, so I won't say it." But, you know, Pennywise does some stuff, you're like, "Ugh, don't want to be around that clown." But as the movie progresses, you learn more about Pennywise and how he operates. And as the kids become less scared of him, you as the audience also become less scared to him. So when they start rising up against Pennywise, you're on board. And I thought that was amazingly well done, so I just want to give them credit for that. But what did you guys think of it? Let me know in that comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, let me know what you're doing for Halloween. I'd also love to hear that. Me, I'm just gonna be, you know, handing out candy. So, if I see ya, which I probably won't because it's a big old world, but if I do, say hi. But with that said, thank you guys for watching. Please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends. Sorry for being a little late on this one. We have some more reviews coming out, changing some stuff behind the scenes, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay classy. Later. Woo!